Thank you very much. You may please resume your seat. Excellency, dignitaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, old past, student, present, you're welcome to the Presbyterian Training College, now Presbyterian College of Education. We've gathered here this morning to celebrate 175 years of holistic education, honoring our past, celebrating the present, and shaping the future. I call it PTC, my alma mater as well. My name is Kesia Sempa. I sit on Adom FM as the morning show host. You're all welcome. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, we'll have the opening prayer, and to do us the honors to give us the opening prayer, please help me welcome Reverend Dr. Nana Abraham Opare Kwache, Alumni Rep on Council and Gar Presbytery Chairperson of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Please put your hands together for him.
Please let us rise and pray. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, eternal God, we thank you. We honor you and we give you glory at a time like this when we have gathered to celebrate 175 years of your goodness to us in this college. We thank you for traveling mercies, for bringing us from far and near, and for all the things that you have purposed for us in this day. Lord, we commit the entire program into your hands. We ask that, Lord, you will be present, that, Lord, you will preside over this gathering, that, Lord, you will lead us. This is a very special day, the very first day of the month of July, and we pray that, Lord, your word will come to us, and your word will inspire, guide, lead, and direct us. And therefore, Father, we yield ourselves to you in this meeting and ask that, Lord, may we end well so that we bring glory to your name once more. For we have prayed in the matchless name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you very much, and that was the national anthem. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed. It is now time to introduce your chairperson for the celebration we have in this morning, 175 years. It's not easy. I counted down the line about 25 years ago. I also entered the school, and indeed I walked out, and I always say that I'm proud I attended PTC. If you are here today, you are a past student, you say to yourself that you are proud, you are a product of PTC. Because wherever we go, we leave that mark of being a petition. And that is what we stand for. Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed to have the introduction of the chairperson. And to help us do that, please help me welcome Reverend AKUAPEM Presbytery Chair. Put your hands together for Reverend.
The moderator of the President of Ghana, the Honorable Senior Minister, the Clerk of General Assembly, the Chairperson for the Governing Council, we thank God for this day, and for a special day like this, we need someone who will sit in the chair and steer the affairs. I have the singular honor to introduce to you the chairperson for this occasion. He is in the person of Right Reverend Professor J.O. Amante, the moderator of the President Church of Ghana. Our moderator, as you know, is a seasoned theologian and a minister of the President Church. He has worked in the church in several areas, and for a very long time he was in charge of the Trinity Theological Seminary where ministers are trained. He was the head and has worked for that period. In addition, he has been the chairperson for the Christian Council of Ghana and has just ended his tenure of office. Currently, he is serving on the International Committee on the World Council of Churches, and he just returned from Geneva 2 nights ago. Let us therefore welcome Right Reverend Professor J.O. Amante to the seat.
Representative of His Excellency, the President, whom I affectionately call Wafayao, Senior Minister of State, Asafo Mafu, our Eastern Regional Minister, Honorable Sir Kwame Echampo, the Chairperson of the AKUAPEM Presbytery, the Chairperson of the Governing Council, Ministers of State here present, the Principal of the College, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Aprecian, Representative of the Vice Chancellor of UCC, Rector of Akwesri Christella Institute, Principals of all the other colleges here present, and everybody here present. I stand here to accept the responsibility as chairperson for this very special occasion. I was the Presbytery chairperson, and at that time also the council chair for this institution from 2006. And so from 2006 up to this point, I have had a special relationship with this College of Education. I always recollect the first time I came here for a ceremony. When I saw the students those days, all of them, they were dressed in suits. I saw how polished everybody was. And I said to myself, this is perhaps one of the best universities ever in this world. But let me just start off by congratulating this university, College of Education, AKROPONG, AKUAPEM, for clocking 175 years. For many elderly citizens, the college is better known as PTC. This is 175 years, and I do not recollect any higher educational institution in this country that is 175 years yet. Do you recollect any? So let us rise and give a big round of applause to the oldest and the mother of all schools. Let's keep clapping. We are clapping for 60 seconds. Thank you. Thank you. Quite recently, I met a very important person in this country, and we were having a discussion about lifting some of the colleges of education to become full-fledged universities. And when he started naming some of them, I said to him, stop. Just because you did not start with PTC, you are wrong. Let's start afresh. Because if you make any other college a full-fledged university, even the colleges themselves will laugh at you for not making PTC first. Because this is the mother of all our schools. Anything that I'm saying here, I'm saying it from all my heart, and I really do believe with all my heart. The full import of the celebratory activities will be lost on us if we only see this college as one of the schools. This college is more than a school. Basically, what the founders of the college did was to create an environment where young people could fully explore and exploit their God-given potentials. In other words, to create a factory, if you like, for the production of human resources. For 175 years, the college has done that to the admiration of all and to the glory of God. The four mission of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, the Basel missionaries pioneered formal education targeted at Africans here in AKROPONG, AKUAPEM, in 1843, as one of the responses of the challenge and advised by the then AKUAPEM Hine, Nana Addo Dankwa I, who wanted to see dark-skinned Christians who could read and write before commending his people to follow the Christian faith. At the departure of the missionary, Reverend Andreas Rees, who worked in AKROPONG for about 8 years without a convert, the king was reported to have told him, quote, when God created the world, he made the book that is the Bible for the European and animism for the African. But if you could show us some Africans who could read the Bible, then we could surely follow you. So when the dark-skinned missionaries under the auspices of the Basel mission arrived at the Gold Coast, the establishment of schools was one of their priorities. Having chalked some successes at the basic school level, the mission leadership realized that the survival and sustenance of the mission work heavily depended on the training of more Africans to be an integral part of the mission work. They trained these workers, equipping them both as teachers, transmitters of general knowledge, and missionary workers. This was the key reason that gave birth to this college in 1848, second only to Furabe University, Sierra Leone, which had been established 15 years earlier as a modern college in West Africa. The training in this college was very unique as it was done in consonance with the four thematic areas of the mission of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Training at this college was holistically targeted at the head, the heart, and the hands. The head for general knowledge acquisition, the heart for the gospel and morals and ethics, and the hands for work and skills development. This non-discriminatory education was also inclusive, irrespective of one's gender and capacities. It made room for boys and girls, even in those days. Those who were differently abled, such as that the visually impaired, auditory impaired, and any form of physical impairment were included. Among the greatest alumni of this college was the wheelchair-bound Christian Anderson Akrofi, popularly known as C.A. Akrofi, whose contribution to the development of Twi as a lingua franca is unparalleled. Using Braille to read and write by the visually impaired was first done here in the then Gold Coast, and another evidence of inclusive education as a heritage of this college is that everything being said here was also translated in real time for the auditory impaired. It has always been at the back of the mind of the church in establishing educational institutions that at the end of the day, Presbyterian education is to make beneficiaries serve as witnesses of Jesus Christ to everybody. We aim to produce spiritual, moral, social, and environmental witnesses. The training aims to let teachers and students realize that they are persons whose chief end is to glorify God. As part of the school life, you have to go to church here, worship God, and do everything that will praise God. When you are done with your college education, you go through the mandatory rites of commendation service, where a minister of the church prays for you and sends you out to go and do your work as unto the Lord. As part of your training, we aim to shape students as moral witnesses whose life and work align with the values of Jesus, which are God's values for us. At 175 years, we are here to celebrate how the Presbyterian Church of Ghana founded a Christian college, which has impacted the nation. It was in this very college that the umbilical cord of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana was planted, and everything that the church has achieved can trace mostly its origin to this very compound. So for us as Presbyterian, this compound is so holy and sacred for us. Those of you who are teachers and have been walking up and down, you don't see the holiness. But for us who know the history, this is the Presbyterian Jerusalem. It might interest you also to know that out of this college, 2 tertiary institutions have emerged, which is this college and then the Akrofi Christala Institute of Theology, Mission, and Culture. And so they are well represented here today. And that was one of the first private postgraduate institutions in Ghana to receive a presidential charter as a fully fledged university. Akrofi Ayiko. The Akrofi Christala campus was the original campus, college campus, and their archives contain some of the relics of this college from 1848. The compound of this college was where the transformation of the economy of our nation called Gold Coast, now Ghana, started. It was the missionaries and their college students who were the first recipients of many newly introduced food, cash, and commercial crops. It was on this campus, and I want you all to listen well, where cocoa and coffee were first planted in the 1850s and exported. And this is the place where Tete Kwashi learned about cocoa before Tete Kwashi embarked on his trip to Fernando Po in the 1870s. If Ghanaians care to know, let me repeat, Tete Kwashi was a Presbyterian missionary boy, and he saw cocoa here on this campus before going to Fernando Po. If Ghanaians have any church or any institution to be grateful for, this is the church and this is the institution. the me can say enkanya ha ka koko ya kan enka ye hubi yeti yeda Nyankopon ase for this school and for the Presbyterian Church. Many of the staple foods found in Ghana were first nursed and tasted here. In sports, the story of football in Ghana, people don't know this, also traces its roots here. There's one of the principals who had come from, I think, Scotland, who introduced football here before there was Accra House of Oak. Okay, in Ghana for Presbyterian Church of Ghana, any a year Presbyterian College of Education, Yabremu School, Yabremu Koko, Yabremu Football, Yanyamu beer. As a church, this college has produced for us many countless catechists and ministers. Up until the 1990s, almost every minister who had assumed higher office leadership of the church was a graduate of this college. When you are entering my office, you count all the moderators, and almost all the African Ghanaian moderators had passed through this school before. You go through the clerk's office, you see a similar thing. Today I was telling somebody, the way this school is, it's more like if you did not attend PTC, you are not a good Presbyterian, kind of. The college has had its tagline as the mother of all our schools, but it is more than that. When products of this school graduated into the world of work, they touched every facet of the social institutions: religion, socialization, education, family, economics, politics, and health. I think you all are aware that we have had chiefs in so many distant places in this country who would normally come to the Presbyterian Church head office and they would say, we want a teacher or a head teacher who has attended PTC. And they would come from all the villages. And so I would not be surprised even if the representative of the president was taught by a Presbyterian teacher from PTC. And to the AKROPONG community, we love this AKROPONG community because it's been a very serene place for education. But I just also want to send a message to the AKROPONG community that whether AKROPONG community is aware or not, the name AKROPONG got onto the world stage, world map, because of this school. And so between the leadership of the AKUAPEM state, Nananum, political leaders, we pray and trust that as the Lord has brought us this far, over 175 years, we will continue to work together to lift up the AKROPONG community onto a higher world stage. Representative of the President, I would like to commend the government for its role in the partnership in developing all the Presbyterian colleges of education. I want to specifically thank government for the provision of infrastructure on all the college campuses and the AKROPONG campus in particular. But as every teacher writes in the terminal report cards, Your Excellency, there is still more room for improvement. Today, even this building in which we are, several of the other buildings, the newest building to be commissioned today, these have all happened because of government support, and we are very grateful to the government. Let's give the government of Ghana a big round of applause. But Your Excellency, I have just two requests. One of them has to do with the fact that nowadays our institutions, our colleges of education are offering degrees. But it looks like the tutors don't know whether they should call themselves tutors or lecturers. And they are still getting school teachers' salaries. I pray and I think that all the tutors in the colleges of education will agree with me if there will be a special migration onto a special remuneration system for the teachers of the colleges of education. I am saying this because we have had situations where some of our tutors would go get higher degrees and then they'll be poached by the universities, which is not nice. The other thing that I want to say is that, Your Excellency, it might interest you to note that actual teacher education started from here and it has been here for 175 years. And for the 175 years, the people here have learned how to do education, to cook it, to frame it, and do it well. In fact, it might interest you to know that in the first batch of graduates of this college in the degree program, as many as 52 graduates, representing a record of 11.21% out of the 464 candidates presented, obtained first class. If the school were fully chartered and was awarding its own degrees, then people could go around and say, oh, awam, yewim. But this one, it was offered by UCC, the mentoring institution. And in UCC itself, you will not get 11.2% of candidates getting first class. This indicates for us that something good is happening here and we must promote what goes on here. And that is why I want to beg that government will speed up a process of lifting up some of the colleges of education into fully fledged universities by even adding other faculties, and that must start from here, PCE AKROPONG. Your Excellency, I cannot help but let you know this, that we have so many of our bigger universities having campuses scattered around the country, and then they come and take the teachers from here to go and teach for them. Meanwhile, the teachers here have to submit their own scripts to them for examination. It doesn't add up. And so that's why I plead and pray that for the sake of the fact that we now have free SHS and so many students are coming out, it may make a lot more sense to upgrade some of these colleges of education into fully fledged universities than starting from scratch. To be cheaper and to be easier, and we must start it from here. I'm not saying all the colleges of education are ready, but at least we Presbyterians have some that are ready. And we are ready, just ready and very, very ready. Rather than a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I want to extend once again my warm felicitations and congratulate the college for clocking 175 years. The college has a beautiful past, a strong heritage, and a glorious future. As a college, we still need to prove our worth as we journey into the future, a future where your Christian roots and Presbyterian heritage are adaptive, flexible, and yet strong enough to remain relevant in the changing fortunes of time. What you have done in the past with intentionality can only be sustained by still intentionally choosing to remain a Christian college of excellence. Long live the Presbyterian College of Education, AKROPONG, AKUAPEM Long live the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Long live our nation, Ghana. And Ayiko, and Ayiko. God richly bless us all. May we have a wonderful time today. I am the church leader that is the most excited church leader today because of the 175 years of this school. God bless us all. Amen.
A better round of applause for him. God bless you. God bless you. The Right Reverend Joseph Obriya Boamante, the moderator, Presbyterian Church, Ghana. Thank you so much, moderator. We're grateful. 2 requests moderator made that touch my heart really. Your Excellency, as past student, we've taken notice of that, and we humbly ask that please you look into it. And one has to do with the remuneration of our teachers. Your Excellency, I think it is very, very important if that can be considered. And also the upgrading of the colleges of education to universities. PTC, we are ready. 175 years, we are ready. If you want to start from PTC, because we are ready. Petitions, are you there? PTC, PTC, PTC. Oh, say yeah. Can we rise up a bit? PTC, PTC, PTC. Oh, say, 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 oh, yeah. PTC, oh, yeah. PTC, oh. Your Excellency, we are ready. Migrate us to the university, we are ready. That's PTC for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't sit yet. I humbly ask that you please rise up. It is time to introduce the Omahene for this area. The Omahene is joining us now. The Omahene is joining us now. We'll keep standing as we welcome the Omahene into our midst. Osi Adeyo Kwesi Ekufu III, AKUAPEM is joining us. Please, let's all be upstanding. Osi Adeyo Kwesi Ekufu III, AKUAPEM is joining us. He'll be in our midst in a jiffy. We humbly ask all and sundry to be upstanding as we welcome AKUAPEM to our midst.
Sokosa Nzanza Ubetoberima Keriampoe Ekufugwazida wasio Keriampoe Ekufugwazida wasia Amen Oda wasia Amen Oire Wokro pata Nangware bwebodeng Sokosa Nzanza Ubetoberima Okwa dress yo Esio kedo kwang openinina Okwa dress yo Esio kedo kwang openinina Ye bokwa go tu esio no Esio ni frititi yo no openinina Ye bokwa go tu esio bi Esio ni frititi yo no openinina Ye de kachiri ko tu esio no Odu fusira fusiro Koto bridges e fosa ya fu Ankola ye hu no Keriabo Ekufugwazida wasio Keriabo Okra kwazida wasia Amen Saokosa Nzanza Ubetuberima Saokosa Nzanza Ubetuberima Ubetuberima Sasa bosa moya vona fuo. Sasa bosa moya vona fuo. Akubu kwase. Opo sasa. Ube tu belema. Oh, why dress yo? As your jara kwang. Oh, peninina. As your jaw kwang. Oh, why dress yo? Oh, peninina. Yeah, but kwang got yes yo me. As your different yo. No peninina. Yeah, but kwang got yes yo me. As your different yo. No peninina. Yeah, they can change the go to Suno. What if it's never so? Go to bring yourself was I am for. Kedia boy. Akufu kwa sida wasio. Kedia boy. Okra kwa sisi oda wasia. Amen. Oda wasia. Amen. Kedia boy. Akufu kwa sida wasio. Okwa nushei. Sa okonza insanza ubetu berima. Sa okonza insanza ubetu berima. Sasa buzabo yefona fuo. Sasa buzabo yefona fuo. Opo se. Ubetu berima. Opo se. Ubetu berima. Kedia boy. Akufu kwa sisi oda wasio. Okra kwa sisi oda wasio. Akufu kwa sisi oda wasio. As your turn, quite dress you, or Peninina. Quite dress you, as your turn, or Peninina. Yeah, but one go to as you be, as you live it you, no Peninina. Yeah, but one go to as you know, as you live it you, no Peninina. Yeah, they continue to go to Suno, or do for Sinafusro. Quanto bridges as you as you. Aku Sakoto Bridja, and as I wrap him. Also, for the one of bedroom, I grab down.
Thank you very much. Nana Yemoakwaba. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Nana in our midst. Osi adie yo kwesi Akufu the third. Okuapehene. Nana, once again you are welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue with the program and we ask that we all rise for the college anthem. Please rise. It is now time for the college anthem and the choir will lead us. We're waiting for the choir to lead us to observe the college anthem. Thank you very much. You may please take your seat. And for those of you joining us, if you just came in, this is Presbyterian College of Education. We are celebrating 175 years of holistic education, honoring our past, celebrating the present, and shaping the future. It is now time for the welcome address, and that will be done by the principal of the college. It's my singular honor to invite to the podium Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apreciao, the college principal. Put your hands together.
The representative of His Excellency, Senior Minister Honorable Yao Osafo-Maafo, the moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Professor J.O.Y. Mante, His Royal Majesty, Kwesi Ekufu AKUAPEM Hene, the Clerk of the General Assembly, Minister of Education, and the Rep of the Minister of Education, Honorable Gifty Chum Ampofu, Chairperson of the Governing Council, Dr. Esther Ofei Abuaje, Eastern Regional Minister, Director General of Education, Director General JTech, Vice Chancellor, University of Cape Coast, Vice Chancellor, University of Education, Winneba, President of the Presbyterian University, Ghana, Director, Institute of Education, University of Cape Coast, Directors of Education present, Service Commanders present, Nananom, Members of Parliament of AKUAPEM North, Okre, and AKUAPEM South. Principals of sister colleges present, the clergy, faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is with much joy and pleasure that I welcome you to this great event. Once again, I heartily welcome Your Excellency and the Rep, Honorable Yao Osafo-Maafo, for his commitment to this college. I also welcome the children of F.A. Jempo, of blessed memory, Michael and Evelyn, who traveled from the U.S. to be part of this program. In addition, I welcome Mrs. Ekusika Jobo, the wife of Professor Jobo, also of blessed memory. Mrs. Jobo is the first black female tutor to teach in this college. Finally, I welcome my own father, Mr. Isaac Siandiodu. He is an alumnus and a member of Edikamfo 1966. I'm so much elated as the principal under whose tenure the 175th anniversary is being celebrated. I envision a future which those who had the opportunity to play a part in the growth and development of this great institution will be keenly remembered. It is therefore important that we all play our roles respectively to lift the college to the level of international eminence. Distinguished guests, Permit me to use this opportunity to highlight some of the achievements of the college within the past 5 years, and also to use the opportunity to solicit support to meet the unmet needs of the college. Achievements. The achievements have been categorized under the following themes: leadership and governance, promotion of academic excellence, increase of internally generated funds, infrastructural development, strategic collaborations and community engagements, rebranding and beautification, and donations. Moderator, Prof. I start with leadership and governance. It gladdens my heart to report that through the instrumentality of the Governing Council Chair, Dr. Esther Ofeya-Boaji, the college is thriving in the virtues of fairness, integrity, openness, compassion, respect, and teamwork. These virtues, coupled with the core values of the college, have guided subcommittees of the council and academic board in discharging their duties creditably, thereby promoting efficiency in the administration of the college. The college therefore is appreciative of the effort made by the Governing Council in spearheading growth and development in the college. Promotion of academic excellence. Prof. Chair, among the major achievements of the college is the knack for academic excellence. Over the years, students' performance has soared to enviable levels. For instance, during the 2021 graduation ceremony, as many as 32 students graduated with first-class honors, topping the league table of colleges of education in Ghana. That was in 2021. In the last graduation, student performance soared further. Further again, other colleges with an unprecedented 52 first-class honors, representing 11.2% of the total number of graduates. Regarding staff development and upgrading, I am proud to announce that 22 faculty members are pursuing doctoral degrees in their respective disciplines in both local and foreign institutions. It is expected that 50% of the tutors will complete their courses next year. Indeed, during the last year, Dr. Bennett Oseyao of the Department of Science became the latest addition to the number of PhD holders in the college. It is also noteworthy that in 2022, 8 staff gained promotion to the ranks of senior tutors. In March 2023, the National Teaching Council introduced an award scheme for outstanding tutors. In view of that, 3 tutors were nominated to represent the college at the national level. They include Mr. Benjamin Semenyo Lifeson, who was the overall best tutor in the college. Followed by Ms. Regina Akosua Hinewa and Ms. Evelyn Susanna Anglo. We are hopeful that they will excel at the national level and bring honors to the college. In the institution's effort to promote academic excellence, the old library has been renovated and stocked with books. A new library with a certain capacity of 300 is ready to be used by the college. The old ICT laboratory have also been renovated. A new ICT laboratory with a sitting capacity of 150 is ready for commissioning and dedication today. A new lecture hall and offices fitted with state-of-the-art teaching and learning facilities are also ready for use in the college. The college is grateful to the government of Ghana, GET Fund, and the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission for their support. Increasing internally generated funds. To achieve academic excellence in tertiary institutions, call for massive mobilization of funds, especially where it relates to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics as pertains to this college. With prudent management, the college can make some savings to meet the demands of academic excellence. In addition to this, deliberate efforts to increase internally generated funds have been initiated. They include poultry farming, continued professional development services to basic and secondary schools teachers, rental services, bookbinding and printing works, infrastructural development. Moderator, the role of appropriate infrastructure in running of a model tertiary institution cannot be overemphasized. It creates an environment in which efficiency is maximized due to the availability of resource allocation. Infrastructure, such as well-equipped lecture theaters, libraries, ICT laboratories, clinics, and restaurants are equally essential. For this reason, we are proud to report the completion of a 6-story complex. It includes a fully furnished library, ICT laboratory, lecture halls, and offices. The project was accomplished through GET Fund support. In addition, renovation works have been completed in the following areas: the college kitchen, the old auditorium, the old library, the poultry farm, HOD's offices, the staff common room, main entrance, the Votech laboratory, and some staff bungalows. The college was able to procure 4 keyboards and a set of wind instruments for the music and dance department. A set of drums and combo and keyboards have also been procured for the use by the chaplaincy. The college has, through the support of the alumni and SRC, built and furnished a new 200-capacity female hostel block. Strategic collaborations and community engagements. The college has thrived on the tripartite collaboration of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, the government of Ghana, and AKUAPEM. The college has seen tremendous growth due to the efficiency of the triumvirates. We therefore salute you for your unwavering support and commitment. In the area of partnership and collaborations, I am happy to report that the college has partnered with the Virginia State University of the USA to leverage educational opportunities. The partnership agreement was initiated by the Kronti Division of AKROPONG, and let's give them a rousing applause. On 22nd June 2023, the college received 15 students and faculty members for a study tour. The college is preparing to receive 30 students from Virginia State University on 30th September 2023 on an exchange program. They will be in AKROPONG for 6 months. When they return to the US, a team of students and faculty from the Presbyterian College of Education will return their visit. As part of the partnership agreement, the college will send 5 faculty members to pursue their doctoral degrees in Virginia State University. As part of the corporate social responsibility, the college undertook a blood donation exercise on 17th June 2023. In all, the college donated over 200 pints of blood to the Tetekwashi Memorial Hospital as part of its activity marking the 175th anniversary. Similarly, the college donated diverse items to Kom Presby Hospital in Eburi. All these are in the spirit of giving back to the community in appreciation of the goodwill enjoyed by the college. Rebranding and beautification. An institution established in 1848 will certainly need a modern touch to befit its status and be more competitive. To this end, a massive rebranding exercise was embarked upon. The vision, mission, and core values of the institution have been revised and approved by the Standing Committee of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. In addition, more interactive website has been developed to boost the college's visibility. There has been deliberate plans to beautify the college. Areas requiring grassing, paving, painting, and tiling have received due attention. The agric science, creative arts, and estate departments led the beautification exercise. And let's give them a rousing applause for a good work done. We therefore commend them highly for a job well done. A special mention goes to Mr. Benjamin Semenyo Lifeson of the Creative Art Department for his role in the rebranding and beautification exercise. Indeed, he was very instrumental in designing the college's logo, the flag, the maze, the main gate, the the anniversary cloth. All these were done pro bono, and we are grateful to this man who is also an alumnus of the college. Donations. The college continues to receive donations from individuals, alumni, communities, and institutions due to the tremendous imprint the college has made. For an occasion such as this, it is worthy mentioning some of the outstanding donations to show our gratitude for their support. In the past 2 years, the college has received the following donations. 20 LED street lights were donated by the MP of Okre, Honorable Dan Botry, on 30th June 2023, just last 2 days. 30 conference room chairs had been donated by a Dikamfo 1982 year group on 27th June 2023. 56 ceiling fans and accessories, of which some few have been installed, were donated by a Dikamfo 98 year group. Sixteen LED street lights were donated by AKUAPEM North Municipal Assembly in January 2023. 2 projectors and accessories and PA systems were donated by a Dikamfo 97 year group. 50 bags of cement also donated by a Dikamfo 97 year group in April 2023. The 2023 graduation class collaborated with management to renovate the old assembly hall or the old auditorium. Four overhead tanks donated by 2020 SRC to the 4 halls of the college. Construction of the 175th anniversary female block by the 2023 SRC in collaboration with alumni and management. The block is ready for commissioning and dedication today. Chair, we are honored and touched by these benefits, and we pray other stakeholders will emulate these kind gestures to support the college. Challenges. Moderator, kindly permit me to touch on few challenges that require attention and redress. Distinguished guests, the college has chalked numerous successes in the past, yet the challenges that face us as a fledgling tertiary institution are equally enormous. As we celebrate our achievement, we must face these challenges with determination and a shared commitment to overcome them and make our college one of international eminence and repute. One of the present challenges we face is inadequate staff accommodation. Our dedicated faculty and staff work tirelessly to provide quality education, and it is our responsibility to ensure they have suitable living conditions. On our maintenance schedule, we are obliged to renovate at least 3 old bungalows every year. There is an urgent need for at least 4-story, 6-unit apartment for staff. Another critical issue on our wish list is the fencing around the college. The speed with which PCG land is being encroached upon is disturbing. Stringent measures are required to prevent further encroachment. We are therefore calling on all stakeholders to support and accomplish this project. Additionally, we must address the issue of inadequate vehicles to support students to school for field experience and other college activities. Field experience is invaluable for pre-service teachers as it provides practical exposure and real-world learning opportunities. By securing adequate resources, including buses, we would enable our students to engage fully in their teaching practicum, where they make the connection between theory and practice. As we reflect on the challenges ahead, it is crucial to remember that we are a community united by a shared vision. Together, we can overcome any obstacles and turn our challenges into opportunities for growth and progress. I urge all stakeholders, faculty, staff, alumni, students, and the wider community to join hands and work hard in addressing these challenges facing the college. Let us seize this momentous occasion, the 175th anniversary of the Presbyterian College of Education, as a catalyst for positive change. By embracing innovations, collaborations, and perseverance, we can build a brighter future for generations to come. Together, let us ensure that the college continues to strive as a center of excellence, empowering pre-service teachers who would develop minds, ignite passion, and transform the lives of our school children. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate the illustrious history of the Presbyterian College of Education, it is important that we also look to the future and envision the path that lies ahead. To remain relevant in the ever-changing world, we must adapt, evolve, embrace new opportunities, and address emerging needs of our students and society. Lastly, let us foster a culture of lifelong learning and professional development within our college community. By providing continuous learning opportunities for faculty, staff, and alumni, we can stay abreast of emerging trends, research findings, and pedagogical advancements. This commitment to ongoing growth and improvement will not only benefit our students, but also enhance the expertise and reputation of our institution. In conclusion, as we celebrate the 175th anniversary of the Presbyterian College of Education, let us embrace the future with optimism and determination. By responding to the changing needs of our students, embracing innovation, promoting global perspectives, and fostering a culture of research and continuous learning, we would ensure our college remain relevant, impactful, at the forefront of shaping education landscape for generations to come. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you.
A better round of applause for our principal. Please do it better for him. Thank you so much, Mr. Principal of the college. Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apresiao as our principal. Please, another round of applause for him. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Mr. Principal, we salute you. When you were mentioning the donations, I was like, where's the Decanfu 2001? Then you came to challenges, and I said, thank God, at least once there are challenges, we'll fit somewhere. So over to you at Decanfu 2001. We still have challenges. Put yourself together, come and do something. But put your hands together for Decanfu 2002 and the Decanfu 2000 as well. That's the God's people. I understand they have a wonderful presentation to make to the college before we go. Mr. Principal.
I need to introduce that. Okay, then let him do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed. I still have to acknowledge some dignitaries we have. When the principal was giving a speech, he mentioned the council chair. And of course, for those of us who do not know who the chairperson of the council is, Please put your hands together for the great woman who has chaired the council very well and made sure that this anniversary has been a successful one. Dr. Esther Ofe Abuaji. Put your hands together for Doc. Madam, we are so grateful. Thank you so much. We acknowledge the presence of the Managing Director of NLA, the National Lottery Authority. Honorable Samia Uku is also here. Honorable, you're most welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, Honorable. We move on. It's now time for the introduction of AKUAPEM, and that will be done by the Chief of Staff of AKUAPEM. Please, let's invite him.
Thank you so much. My name is George Adoyobo, and I have the singular honor to introduce to you His Royal Majesty Osadeyo Kwesi Ekufu, Omahene of AKUAPEM. The Omahene, as we all know, sits in here today as one of the dignitaries, one of the special guests invited to this ceremony. He is the president of the AKUAPEM Traditional Council. And I did not want to belabor the point. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome His Royal Majesty. Let us welcome His Royal Majesty Osadeyo Kwesi Ekufu III, the AKUAPEM. Ladies and gentlemen, Osadeyo would have wished to be here, by the podium this morning to read out his speech to you. But unfortunately, he's had a coarse voice this morning, and that would not permit him to do that. He's therefore asked me to do that on his behalf. Thank you. Representative of the President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Safo Mafu, the Honorable MP for Okre constituency, Honorable Dan Kweku Butche. We have the MCEs here. I also acknowledge the presence of the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Reverend Professor Joseph Obriyeboamante, the Minister of Education, Dr. Yaosei Educhum, Director General, Ghana Tertiary Education, JTEC, Professor Mohamed Salifu. We have the Vice Chancellor, Professor of UCC, Professor Nelson Nyako Bwampong, College Principal, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Ampresiao. We have the Director General of National Lotteries, Mr. Samuel Ewuku, otherwise known as Sami Ewuku. Then we have the Vice Chancellor, UEW. We have Nananom Queen Mothers, Reverend Ministers, lecturers, press, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Obi Amwa is also here, and we acknowledge your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, today is another significant milestone in the annals of this great college, the Presbyterian College of Education, and I am proud and indeed privileged to be associated with this celebration of the 175 years anniversary of this great college. I am particularly happy because the occasion brings to memory the role played by traditional authority, or the role played by the AKUAPEM man in the development of this institution. Ladies and gentlemen, AKUAPEM cannot be left out in the chronicles of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, and more particularly when it comes to writing the history leading to the establishment of this great institution. We salute the management of the school for how far they've brought the school to. And we pride ourselves for inculcating in the students of this great institution values which are typical to AKUAPEM. We didn't hear well. Values which are typical to AKUAPEM. It was the Omayene of AKUAPEM, Nana Addo Dankwa the first, who with his exceptional vision for education offered stool land to the Presbyterian Church in AKROPONG for the Basel mission. This is where the Basel mission gained roots and developed branches to other parts of the country. It is a fact, ladies and gentlemen, that the first seminary school was established by the Basel mission in or about the 1830s in AKROPONG. This school has now developed to this great institution we now call the Presbyterian College of Education, which has turned out great men and women of this country. Great and noble men produced by this institution include, but not limited to, Nana Akufo-Addo, Nana Akufo the First, Kwesi Akufo the First, Ephraim Amu, Theophilus Opoku, Nene Sakite, Ike Afrani, who was the former coach of the Black Star, His Excellency Edward Akufo-Addo, President of the Second Republic, Nanase Ofori Atta, and many more. Time would not permit me to mention. Ladies and gentlemen, organizers of this event could not have chosen a better title than what we have settled on today. 175 years of holistic education, honoring our past, celebrating the present, and shaping the future. We appreciate the quality of graduates turned out by the college over the years, but unfortunately, these graduates sometimes remain unemployed for many years after graduating from colleges and universities. These graduates only look up for nothing but employment from civil service and public service institutions which are already saturated. We believe that in the contemporary world, driven by technology, it is about time management of college oriented its mind towards the production of entrepreneurial graduates with skills who would create their own work, create wealth, and be financially independent. It's about time we took a second look at our educational curriculum we have inherited from the colonial government and practiced over many years, which curriculum does not address the needs of this noble country of ours. Be that as it may, we commend government for the STEM project it has initiated. It is my fervent prayer that the authorities that be would go back to its roots and deal with the fundamentals, our educational curriculum, to turn out graduates who would transform the country to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubts whatsoever in my mind that the Presbyterian Church, and for that matter, the Presbyterian College of Education, AKUAPEM, can deliver beyond expectation and would fly its banner high at the pace setters of education in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, Nana wishes you all well and says, long live the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, long live the Presbyterian College of Education, long live AKUAPEM, and long live Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief of Staff. A better round of applause for him. We'll still continue with some few acknowledgements, and I'm pleased to welcome to our midst a former MC of AKROPONG, now presidential staffer, Honorable Dennis Miracles Abuaji, here with us. Put your hands together for him. He came with his constituency chairman, Omani Bonsu, constituency chairman for the MPP here. Put your hands together for him as well. I'm proud to say he's also Eddie Kamfo, and he was my mate. We all graduated from this institution in the year 2001. Omani Bonsu, thank you for coming. Okay. Thank you very much, Chief of Staff. I've just been informed that, Nana, thank you. And via the AstroTurf that is being constructed here in the school, there's actually Nana that is partnering with the school. Put your hands together for Osiadeyo. So when it's fully constructed and they are done, they commission it, I understand that the 2001 year group, we will play the first soccer match on that field. Nana, thank you. We're grateful. It is that time to have the address from the Ministry of Education, and to help us do that, representing the Minister for Education, Honorable Yaose Duchum, as the Deputy Minister of Education in charge of TVET, Honorable Gifty Chum Ampofu, the Member of Parliament of Buakwa North constituency, and she is repping the Education Minister.
Thank you very much. The representative of His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, my own uncle, Ofa Nana Yaosafo. Moderator, say, Council Chair and Council members, Principal of this wonderful institution, my brother and NUBG member, University of Cape Coast, clergy, principals of sister institutions, PTA, Osiadeyo, Asasira, Edawasi, Enwe no nyam, ene moa odiaboa. Nana no mahima fo ahofefo asasira fo gina sema amayembia school no yebeka se yebeye de nanso yentumi mfa ensensen ewiem. Past and present members of staff, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our friends from the media, all other protocols duly observed. My minister, Dr. Yaose Edichum, would have loved to be here as a teacher. If there's any anniversary we would love to attend, it should have been the Premium College of Education. 175 years. Hooray. But an equally important assignment has taken him out of jurisdiction, and he asked me to be here in his stead. I'm here also as a runaway Presbyterian, born, bred, educated as a Presbyterian, but other issues have taken me to the Methodist Church Uganda. Good afternoon. It gives me immense pleasure to address you all today on behalf of my minister, Dr. Yaose Edichum, on this wonderful occasion of 175 years. When I was coming, I wanted to be sure, because as a Presbyterian, I knew this was the first college of education, but I wanted to be sure. And 175 years no other institution come near. And that's already been said by the moderator. For those of us in the southern sector, even not all over the country, if you see any old teacher and you ask him or her, it is PTC. And when we had training colleges, the premium was PTC. The aggregate that you could get to other colleges of education or training colleges, for PTC, you can't bring that here unless you would have qualified for A-levels before you could get admission here. So, for the tremendous service you have done, the Ministry of Education says that without PTC, the foundation of education would have been broken even before independence. So we say, Ayiko again. For a century and a quarter, for a century and 3/4, this institution has been a beacon of knowledge, impacting quality education as Presbyterian training could not be taken for granted, and shaping the minds of countless individuals. The history of the institution is intertwined with the history of this country, because the history of every country, if you want to get it right, is with education of our people. The Presbyterian College of Education, AKROPONG, funded on the principles of faith, perseverance, and service, has grown into symbol of educational excellence, and yes, excellence with capital letters. From its humble beginning in 1848, the college has come a long way, standing tall amidst all other colleges of education, and there's no dispute about this. As we celebrate this milestone, we pay homage to the visionaries who laid the foundation stone, and we thank the principal for the photo exhibition and other exhibitions. Those of us who did not know, we have known. And it's wonderful to realize that mainly were German from the Basel mission, and they sacrificed so much to ensure that we have what we have today, not only with faith, but also introduce a lot of exotic products in areas of agriculture and food product to us. It is truly remarkable to see how the college has evolved over the years, consistently raising the bar for educational standards, nurturing young minds, and producing well-rounded graduates who contribute positively to society. Its commitment to providing holistic education cannot be overemphasized. And as moderator said, for Presbyterian training, it is the head, it is the heart, and it is the hand. And once you have all of them right, you definitely get it right. So we say, Presbyterian Church of Ghana, we salute you for the immense contribution you have done in education. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for any country to perform wonderfully well, there is a lot we all need to do in areas of education. Research has proved that any country's gross tertiary enrollment ratio has a lot to do with the GDP of the country. Let me say this again. Research has proved that any country's gross tertiary enrollment ratio has so much to do with the GDP. And foundation of education is here in AKROPONG, here in Presbyterian College of Education, and in all teacher education. So, for our instructors, for our lecturers here, we say that once you have this responsibility and we get so much committed, then we are sure that the gross tertiary enrollment ratio will definitely increase. And when that increase, the GDP of the country will increase. And for that simple reason, Honorable Savumanfo, an engineer, a banker, an economist. If the economy do not do well, it is not the economist, it is the teacher. Let me say that again. If the economy is not doing well, it is not the finance minister, it is not the economist, but it is the teacher. Because the performance of the economy depends on the country's gross tertiary enrollment ratio. Countries who have theirs 40% and above, their GDP is fantastic. And those of us who have it lower, the economy is struggling. So now the solution is the foundation that you have provided. But as a teacher, and as all of us are teachers, we say that we have done well, but there is still more room. Let's say that together. There is still more room for improvement. Even if you are first in class, your class teacher will write teacher's remarks. The student has done wonderfully well, but there's still more room for improvement. I'm glad to say that with your support and government's commitment in areas of free SHS and no guarantor student loan scheme, from last year to this academic year, we have improved our gross tertiary enrollment ratio from 18.8% to 20%. And we're hopeful that by 2030, which is just a few years away, we should hit 40%. And by the time we get to 40%, the GDP of the country, per global research that we have, going to do wonderfully well. Moderator said, you made some requests about status of instructors in our colleges of education, and also colleges of education, even though as of now they earn B.Ed, graduates and B.Ed, that is first degree. But the status of our colleges of education are still colleges of education. A lot of plans had gone on, a lot of discussions and planning had taken place. There's a phrase my minister used to say that if you don't take care, children are going to mother grandmothers. What he means is, there are some colleges of education. Moderator said you are right. He mentioned that, for instance, the College of Education at AKROPONG is 175 years, and they've been mentored by my alma mater, University of Cape Coast, who should have been a granddaughter of College of Education AKROPONG, and Winneba should have been a great-great-granddaughter, but then they are mentoring this institution. So there's something which has been a special project of the Minister for Education, and we're working very hard at them to ensure that we get this correctly done. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, managing human resources, readjusting them is a complex process. That is why the process has slowed down a bit, because we need to get the right things. But Principal, I will appeal that as instructors are enhancing themselves on various scholarships, some being funded by your IGF, let there be some form of bonding so that others won't be at the corner. Immediately you finish training them, they whisk them away. It's costing a lot of tertiary institutions, a lot of migration, which is not helping the system very well. But I know we are working at that to ensure that within the shortest possible time, you will be institutions having your own charter and being on your own. Once again, I want to congratulate the Presbyterian College of Education, AKROPONG, on the significant milestone. You have not only stood the test of time, but you have also thrived and made a profound impact on Ghana's educational landscape. On behalf of my minister, Dr. Yao Osei Edichum, I extend our heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for your continued successes. Once again, thank you very much for the attention, and I say ayiko to everybody. Thank you.
And ayiko to you as well, Madam. Honorable Gifty Chumampo, for Member of Parliament at Buakwa North Constituency, the Deputy Minister of Education in charge of TVET. Madam, we are grateful. Put your hands together for Madam. So more acknowledgement. We're pleased to have in our midst the presiding member, AKUAPEM North, Honorable Esiedu Ofe is here with us. Honorable, give us a wave. Thank you so much. We're grateful you came. We have Professor Esuman, who is the Vice Chancellor of Florida Technical University. Professor is here. Prof, you're most welcome. Thank you so much. We have the former Vice Chancellor, UCC, and the past President of Presby University, Professor Ado Obeng, is also here with us. Thank you so much, Prof. We have the Director of ITEC PD, Dr. Samuel Oforibequin, is also an alumnus. Doc, thank you so much for coming. We're grateful. Before I forget, please. In fact, I'm going to pause and take a song from the choir now. We have a donation table outside. All those who came with some donations, please. You just slip out, drop it, and come back. We are not done. Choir, please give us a song. We pause at this point. Choir, give us a song. Put your hands together for the choir. I love their robe. Wow, that's so nice. So the choir will give us a song. When we are done, we acknowledge all the Nananum in our presence. I have about 17 of them. We acknowledge every single one of them. We're grateful, Nananum, you came to grace the occasion for us. Do it better for the choir. Put your hands together for the choir. Do it better for them. It's our time to acknowledge the media houses and, of course, Nananum who are present. We have Atinka TV here. Put your hands together for them. TV Africa is here. Thank you so much for coming. GTV is here. ATV is here. Peace FM is here. Ghana Web is here. Kingdom FM is here. GTV Accra is also here. Fox FM here. Metro TV here. DTV here. TV3 here. Junior Multimedia here. And of course, the station where I work, Multimedia. Adum FM is also here. Put your hands together for us. City FM is also here. And I can see Onuya TV also here as well. We acknowledge the presence of the Eastern Regional Minister, Honorable Sete Champo is here. Honorable, you're most welcome. Thank you very much. Honorable is a very good friend, and Honorable, we're grateful you came. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to introduce the representative of His Excellency the President. Before I invite the moderator to do that, it touches my heart so much to say this. 3 weeks ago, it was all tears in Adakluchefe in the Volta region, where I laid my daddy to rest. We were there when a delegation came, and they said, we are here to mourn with you. I asked them, where are you coming from? They said, we were sent by Honorable Yao Safumafu to mourn with you. Honorable is a very good friend of my dad. In fact, that day, I recall the good times they had together. SWK Chadi, they may his soul rest in peace. Honorable, thank you. We're grateful. Thank you so much. But a personal appeal, a kakakra into other wash. Waname buana. A kakakra wedge, honorable. And the other wash and then him guasiamba. Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce the representative of the President, I call upon the moderator, Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Put your hands together for the moderator to do that.
Don't go far for using my platform to do your own thing. I have fined you 500 Ghana cedis.
It is well.
You pay to the principal before we leave here.
It is well.
All in favor say aye.
Hey, some more time is out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm always happy anytime we have a function here on the hill, on the mountains. Whether it's in Ebri or here, Honorable Obi Amwa is always with us. He's been a good brother, and currently he's a Minister of State for Local Government, Decentralization, and Rural Development. Obi, when you scan, I know what bring me why. He's a member of Parliament for AKUAPEM South. You've been a member of Parliament for how many years now? 4 times. Oh my goodness. He's received ex gratia 4 times. Where I sit, there is somebody who actually is, if you like, in some organizations we call the person General Secretary or Secretary General or whatever. So what they've asked me to do, normally he will be the one that would do it. I want us to acknowledge the clerk of General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Clerk, come by me. He does this thing better than I do. I'm supposed to introduce my uncle, Osafo Mafu, but he does these things better than I do, so I'll ask him to.
Moderator.
Yeah. Now that's very Presbyterian.
Moderator, thank you so much for this opportunity to introduce to the gathering the senior minister, now senior presidential advisor of the government. Honorable Engineer Yao Osafo Mafu is the name. Former senior minister, I must say, former minister of education and sports, where he championed various educational initiatives. Former minister of finance and economic planning, an engineer who engineered the finances of Ghana. He was also formerly managing director of the National Investment Bank and Bank for Housing and Construction, and has served as board chairman or person in many, many institutions in Ghana. Very well known by everyone, not only those in political circles, but known also in church circles. Roots Presbyterian, but also now a Methodist. Let me introduce to you the Honorable Engineer Yao Osafo Mafu.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Professor Joseph Obiri Yabuamante, a friend of mine. I am Methodist by baptism and confirmation, but trained by the Presbyterians through and through. If I am what I am, I owe it to the Presbyterian Church. I have always said this because all my education, I went to Presbyterian boarding school those days, and all my teachers, all the 4 teachers in the Presbyterian boarding school at Evisa were trained at PTC. In fact, the Presbyterian Church ensured that their boarding schools, Begro, AKROPONG, Evisa, Nsama, all the teachers come from PTC. That was the code. And therefore, I have benefited from this school because my teachers were trained from here. His Royal Majesty Nana Kwesi Ekufu III, AKUAPEM, the Clerk of the General Assembly, the Eastern Regional Minister, Honorable Sete Champon, the Minister for Education's Rep, Madam Deputy Minister, Member of Parliament for Okri, Member of Parliament for AKUAPEM South, and Minister of State, Minister of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Government, Honorable Obi Amwa. I have worked with him for a long time, and if there is one diligent minister we have in the system, it is Obi Amwa. As Minister for Education and Sports, he was my deputy minister, and he was responsible for organizing the sports. And it was through his effort that Ghana qualified for the first time to the World Cup. Member of Parliament for AKUAPEM North and Deputy Minister of Trade, the Chairperson of the Governing Council, Dr. Esther Ofeya Abuaje, the Director General of Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Professor Mohammed Salifu, the Vice Chancellor, University of Cape Coast, the Vice Chancellor, University of Education, Winneba, the clergy, the Director, Institute of Education, Cape Coast, the President of the President University, Ghana, Nananum, alumni you call a Decam 4, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. When you talk about President College of Education, AKROPONG, you are talking about the cradle of higher education in Ghana. Because the PTC was the first, call it tertiary education, established in this country way back in 1848. The only college older than this in West Africa is Furabe University. And therefore, we talk about tertiary education in Ghana, you're talking about PTC. So PTC at 75 is a pride to every Ghanaian because they are the trailblazers. Congratulations, College of Education, AKROPONG. 175 years. I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency, the President, who is unable to be here because he has to make a journey outside the country. He sends his warm wishes to you on the anniversary, and he looks forward to visiting this institution as soon as possible. I also extend to you our sincere congratulations. It has been 175 years of real impact, instilling historic and holistic education in this country. If one campus offers disciplined education, it is this campus. I am not too sure, and the moderator will help me, what has happened to the president discipline we knew of years ago. But Mr. Moderator, when I was in the president boarding school, the president discipline was felt and instilled throughout. People caned and they were trained to cane and cane properly. When I was the Minister for Education, there was one slogan that came to my attention, and I quote, "All professions can boast, but a teacher taught them all." All professions can boast, but a teacher taught them all. I find this to be absolutely true, and I personally attach considerable importance to it. This is because I am here today because someone taught me how to read and write, and others built on this foundation. Let us use this occasion to acknowledge all my teachers from Akima Bisa President Boys School, Achimota School, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and all those who have had the patience to teach me. I congratulate you all. Teachers are indeed the foundation of knowledge and civilization of the society. And this goes to amplify the importance as a citadel of excellence in the teacher education. For the Deputy Minister of Education in charge of tertiary made a comment which is interesting. She had now made a relationship between the GDP and teacher enrollment, which means that if you really want to improve on your GDP, one sector you should look at is the education sector, then the training of teachers. I think it is important. As we celebrate today, it is important that we trace our roots. This is the first institution, as I said, at learning to be established in the Gold Coast, which means that all other higher educations in this country trace their roots here. Call it mother of our schools.
College of Education, AKROPONG, congratulations. The Presbyterian College of Education, which was established way back in 1848, started with only 5 students. But its influence will soon spread across the country. The count of Dr. Iframamu as one of your illustrious staff and countless number of your alumni who have risen to the pinnacle of their chosen careers abound everywhere in this country. You have produced great men and women like Joseph Edward Michael. You have produced Professor Emeritus J.H. Kwabena Nketia and Chief Justice Raphael Ni Ama Oleinu of blessed memory, and former presidents of this land. Presbyterian College of Education, congratulations. Your history is extremely rich, and this makes you a key partner of government in national development, especially in the area of instilling greater discipline in the system. I was rather sad to hear that the college has problem with encroachment of its land. Nano Kuyapene, assist the authorities of this college to resolve that problem. Your great-grand uncles provided that land to us and it has played the role that it should. We cannot, in recent times, begin to take the land back by unfoul means. Encroachment of school lands is not the best. So we should, the Presbyterian Church in AKROPONG, with all its members, should assist the authorities here to protect the land. Because we are not the biggest churches locally. And you shouldn't allow them to be lamenting about encroachment. I beg you. Your history is extremely rich. And when I was putting together Ghana Beyond Aid with other scholars of this country, a document, there was one thing that we wanted to emphasize, and that thing was mental attitude of Ghanaians. It is important that our attitude should be such that it is protective, it is ready to assist. It cannot be that when it comes to government property, then every Ghanaian thinks that it must be mishandled. It must be run anyhow. When it comes to individual properties, we protect them. It cannot be right. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a strong correlation between education and national development. That is why the government of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has repositioned education as a catalyst to fast-track upward social mobility. Indeed, the introduction of free senior high school will change the dynamics of Ghana in 20 years' time. The moment you expose a very big percentage of your population to that level of education, and this has happened in all countries, you automatically improve development from all dimensions. And therefore, free SHS is not only a necessity, but it's important for our development, and we should all embrace it. Mr. Moderator, the government commitment to educational transformation, especially teacher education, is not mere rhetoric. We believe that the teacher is central in any educational promotion, and that if we want to promote education, we must promote the teacher. Without a good teacher, what are you talking about education for? And therefore, AKROPONG Training College, having existed for over 175 years, has done a lot in the development of this nation, and we shall ever continue to promote you. I have noticed from the report that Get Fund is assisting to do a number of projects here. Mr. Principal, I would want to be your chief of staff in lobbying for even more to be done for AKROPONG. Even more to be done for AKROPONG because of that pioneering role and because of the importance of teacher education in the system. If we overlook this, our development will not go smoothly. So, Principal, come and let's strategize as to how you will get a lot more principal. The moderator whispered something in my ears, and I quickly did a lot of introspection, and I think the moderator is right. I think on this 175th anniversary, we should offer you one of the most significant and imposing buses. As your birthday gift. And Mr. Moderator, I did not discuss this with the President, but since he has asked me to do it on his behalf, I am going to insist that, Mr. President, I have committed you Mr. President, I've committed you. You sent me to do a job, and in the process, Mpenifo say, "Yes, me benyansafo, yes man am authentic. Osman me no makobo kama." Na eka no eyeka sabi nyansan da. Enti ne yenkopa besia. Ne yempe bossa efe pa enkocha kropon. The government's commitment to education transformation, especially teacher education, is not mere rhetoric, as I said. And I believe that you taking the lead. When I look at the brochure, you have listed out on your degree program various expertise that you want to offer. Page 1, you've listed about 10. And they are all to do with education at JH level, So this college still is committed to education and the training of the teacher. I think you should assist the government. Now that we have upgraded the training colleges into colleges of education, and naturally, without much waste of time, some of you have to be upgraded to universities. And I believe that if any one of the 48 or something College of Education is to be upgraded, even if it's going to be one, it must be AKROPONG. It has existed for 175 years, and in the process, they've contributed so significantly to the training of our teachers, the training of the syllabus. If you go to the exhibition and see books which have been authored by masters from this college, you are impressed. So the college has played its role and must be recognized. The introduction of licensing examination for teachers, for example, was done with the utmost good faith. It is aimed at lifting the image of the profession and avoiding the situation where unqualified persons could pose as teachers and in the process bring the profession into disrepute. It is my expectation that interventions such as the distribution of laptops and payment of continuous professional development allowance to teachers would help to systematically improve the capacity and the morale among the teaching profession and our teachers. Teachers, trainees, hearing present, I know that the difficulty in the economic landscape, which has resulted in government signing up for a program with the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, may cause you some concern. But none of the allowances, including the teaching profession, will be affected by our program with the IMF. In negotiating with the IMF, there were some secret cows. There are certain things which are not to be touched. And the teacher allowances are one of such protected allowances. If there are any difficulty in prompt payment, the difficulty is coming from our own mobilization of resources and not from the IMF. Once we have it, you can be sure that teachers' allowances and the rest of it will all be honored appropriately. Mr. Principal, as we celebrate your achievements and impact over the years, I am also aware that you have some challenges and you've enumerated a number of them. I was impressed by your infrastructure base, and I think that we would also assist you to overcome the other infrastructure deficits. You've done a good job. We say in Chi, ni ofru duapa ani piano. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to celebrate, but I charge you not to dwell on history. You should look ahead and remain steadfast in your commitment to excellence in the teacher education. The name of the institution has changed over the years. Presbyterian Training College, the Scottish Mission Teacher Training College, and the Base Mission Seminary. The constant thing in all these changes is your spirit of excellence that has characterized your endeavors. Hold on to it and continue to show that yes, you still belong to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And the Presbyterian Church stands for discipline, stands for excellence, stands for good mindset. Keep all those virtues of the Presbyterian Church in place. On this historic occasion, let us pay tribute to the visionary who laid the foundation of this college. Let me specifically mention the Reverend Joan Christian Detailey, the first principal of the college. If you have succeeded and come this far, then he certainly laid a solid foundation for you about 175 years ago. Let us know where we're coming from, and let us look into the future with some hope, and let us ourselves, our own attitude, our own mindset be such that we will also improve on whatever we met. Mr. Principal, you have inherited a good institution, and make sure you add to it. Make sure you add to it. You cannot dwell only in history. The future is important. In conclusion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to intimate that the government's commitment to supporting teacher education in Ghana is resolute. By investing in recruitment, training, professional development, resources, and infrastructure, as well as fostering a conducive working environment and implementing the robust education system. We are certainly doing what your forerunners did, and we continue to rely on you when it comes to training of the teacher for research, for some very good research, and I'm emphasizing it. Teaching requires research. We cannot continue to do things as we did in the past. The whole world is changing. We are in the era of ICT. We are digitalizing, and you should digitalize. I'm told, and it was clear from the principal, that you are digitalizing. Whatever support you need to modernize, you should seek for it, and I'll be your supporter. Long live Ghana. Long live the President College of Education. Thank you very much.
I think you deserve a standing ovation as you put your hands together for that powerful speech. Honorable Yao Osafomafo, Honorable Engineer Dr. Yao Osafomafo, we're grateful. Senior Presidential Advisor, you can please resume your seat now. Thank you so much. "175 years, a brand new bus, not the ones that we've been seeing, you know. This one is remote controlled, a powerful automatic bus. Put your hands together, indeed. And this is happening very, very soon. He's the only Minister of Education that gave the colleges of education operational vehicles when he was a minister. If he did that, and today he's here saying he will give PTC a bus, he will do it. Put your hands together. Honorable, thank you. We're grateful. Still acknowledging the presence of some dignitaries. We have the Pro Vice Chancellor, University of Education, Winneba, Professor Victor Entry is here, and a member. Professor Victor Entry, give us a wave. Thank you so much for coming. We have the Get Fund PRO, who is also an alumnus, completed 2002. Isaac Esiedu Odei is also here with us. Isaac, thank you for coming. We have the Special Assistant to the Agric Minister, Honorable Brian Champong. His Special Assistant is here, Nathan Jesimafo. Nathan, thank you so much for coming. Oh, put your hands together. Adam Abre. We're not done yet, too. We'll be cutting the cake. I mean, we'll be doing some things. But it's not time to shake ourselves small. Let's invite the dance group to give us a powerful performance. The dance group, put your hands together for them as they come. Give us a very powerful performance. Dance group, over to you. Thank you so much. Another round of applause. As we celebrate 175 years of our noble institution, ladies and gentlemen, it's also important to acknowledge the hard-working ladies of this college, the hard-working students of this college. We acknowledge all the halls. But first, when I came in, I asked, and something touched my heart so much, and I need to acknowledge it. This is the first time we are having a female as the college prefect of this institution. Put your hands together. Since 1848, if today we are in 2023, and we have a first female as PS. That's how we call our college president, or PS. So please put your hands together for Gloria Agama Adamle, the first female president of the college. Let's acknowledge her. Small in size, big in bones. That's Gloria for you. Wow. Oh, Gloria, stand a little while. First female president here. Put your hands together for Gloria. Gloria, grateful. You've done so well. It wasn't an easy battle. She fought and won. Also acknowledging Honorable Dan Arre, the NDC constituency chairperson, also here with us. Honorable Dan, you're most welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We proceed to the award ceremony. And to do that for us is the council chair. Please put your hands together. Let's invite Dr. Esther Ofe Abuaji. Dr. Esther Ofe Abuaji is the council chairperson. Oh, do it better for Doc.
Here, please. Right. Thank you very much, our distinguished, eloquent, and ubiquitous Master of Ceremonies. This college, 175 years, has achieved what it has through the agency of so many people. But it's important for us to show a token gesture to a select few. We do regard everything we have gotten from everybody. We are deeply grateful. But we think it's important for us to highlight what some have done, or a few have done for us, in order to show that we are indeed a grateful people. And so we have 2 or 3 categories. They are not very many, they are not very long. It will be done very soon. The first category is the category of past principals and acting principals. Papa Principal, okay, you are here. So we'll mention them and then they'll come up, and then they'll receive the award from you, or from
the dignitaries.
From the dignitaries. So who's handing it over? Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Then I think the first person who will assist me in this exercise is, I will invite the Honorable Eastern Regional Minister. Say, can you come and assist me in this exercise? Thank you very much. I will call Mr. Ofori Buahene. Mr. Okay. He's not able to come, but somebody will represent him for us. Mr. Ofori Buahene is his representative here. Right. Then I'll move rapidly on. Reverend S.K. Manson. Papa, are you here with us?
Yes, Papa S.K. is here.
Papa S.K. Okay, Papa Anochin Cancer will do that for us. Reverend Dr. Anochin Cancer will do that for us. You. Right. The next will be the Reverend Samuel Yebua Entry. Papa, please give him a warm round of applause for me. Papa Yebua Entry. Then I have the distinct pleasure. Papa Mpacho, where did you go from? Yeah, there we go. Yes. Thank you. The next to be invited here is my mother, Mrs. Henrietta of Faye Ewuku. Mama, thank you very much. Mama, thank you very much for your distinguished service. I have the pleasure to invite Mr. Samuel Ofori Abuaje, Sir Eso Abuaje. Papa, thank you very much for your distinguished service. Okay, great. Thank you. I have enormous pleasure to invite Mr. George Buenote Appa. Mr. Appa, please do that for us. Mr. Appa held the fort at a difficult time in the life of the college. Papa, we are deeply grateful. Distinguished Chairperson, we have some people who have rendered distinguished service to the college, and I would like to invite them very quickly for this purpose. The first on the list will be Reverend Emmanuel Yao Omnakon. Reverend Omnakon, thank you very much. Reverend Omnakon, thank you very much. We are receiving it over here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, it's my pleasure, Papa Chair, to invite the Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Opare Kwache to do the honor. Yes, we are giving him an award. Papa, you, yes. The Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Parakwachi is not only the alumni rep, he's also the Ghana Presbytery Chairperson and has been of enormous benefit to this college. Thank you, Papa. I have the pleasure to invite, with all humility, the evangelist Dr. Abua of Faye. Dr. Abua of Faye. Papa, aha. I thank Papa Chebi Principal. Oh.
His PA is here. The PA is here.
Oh, the PA is also here. Oh, okay. Right. Thank you. Yeah. That will be a beautiful picture. Now I invite Mr. Africanus K. Anane. Finally, Honorable Minister, the last one is Mr. Andrew Bang Kwakon. Thank you. Honorable Minister, please, I crave your indulgence. Nana Tufuhine has kindly consented to take Mr. Oforibuahine's award for us. So please, Nana Tufuhine, do us the honors. Give him a warm round of applause. Honorable Minister, I'm deeply grateful. Papa Clark, please. Yes. You do the next. Yes, good. Yeah. Papa Chairperson, the next category is the Principal's Award. The Principal's Award, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apresnau's Award, for people who have rendered some distinguished service to us. I want to invite Mr. Charles Arthur. Mr. Charles Arthur to come and receive us. I want to invite Engineer Patrick Oti Adai. Engineer Patrick Oti Adai. Okay. Moving rapidly along, Miss Gladys Akonobia.
Oti is coming.
Oti is coming. Oh, engineer. I'm sorry, my estate officer. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. And then finally, Miss Gladys Akonobia. Miss Gladys Akonobia. Auntie Gladys, thank you very much for your service. Where is she? Okay. She's coming? Is Gladys coming? Yes, she's coming. Auntie Gladys is in our kitchen. She's a member of our kitchen staff. Thank you for your distinguished service. Auntie Gladys is in our kitchen. She's a member of our kitchen staff. Thank you for your distinguished service. Papa, we also want to recognize a few people for long service. So for non-teaching staff, I want you to help us recognize Mr. Bismarck Ofori, long service non-teaching staff. Mr. Bismarck Ofori. How long has he been with us? How long has he been with us?
Over 20 years.
He's been with us for more than 20 years of dedicated, faithful service.
41 years.
Actually, Papa, it is 41 years of dedicated service. Papa Chair, I want to recognize Anna Bolsa. Okay. Right. Then finally, Monica Ejapoma, non-teaching staff. Monica Ejapoma.
In fact, Anna is retiring today.
Yes. No, away.
47 years of service.
Monica.
Anna.
Okay. Thank you very much. Papa, just 3 more teaching staff. I want to recognize here our acting vice principal, Miss Vivian Okran. Auntie Vivian.
Honestly, a staff, longest service. He's the longest service. He's retiring.
Then our longest serving staff, Mr. George Ohine, who will be retiring this year. Mr. George Ohine. Okay, you'll collect it for him. Thank you very much. And then finally, this lady with such exquisite English, Mr. Masego Arthur. Thank you very much for participating.
We are honoring the kindergarten, the KG people, the primary school, and the JSS teachers.
Right. Honorable Deputy Minister, this college does not exist in a vacuum. We exist with our, satellite practice institutions. So we want to honor people or representatives from our kindergarten, our JHS, and our basic school. Will you do us the honors, please? Right. Okay.
The first is Margaret Sion. He is the first, the founding teacher at the KG.
Right. Right. The first person I would like to invite is Mrs. Margaret Saudiodu, who was the founding teacher of the kindergarten, worked from 1955 to 1994. Mrs. Margaret Saudiodu.
Happens to be my mother.
She also happens to be the principal's mother. Thank you so much. Then I would like to invite Mr. Roland Akoto Arthur. Roland Akoto Arthur, the founding teacher, basic school, who worked from 1982 to 1987. Mr. Akoto Arthur. Then finally, I want to recognize Mr. Alex Tete Engwa, a founding teacher of the JHS, 1978.
Then we have Benjamin Lifeson, the one who did the cloth. We have.
Is that all?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Not Papa moderator there.
Papa moderator.
Yeah. Benjamin Lifeson.
I'll do it. Okay, no pen.
Like lives in royal club,
right. Mama, when the principal was speaking, she talked about somebody whose creative genius have helped us so much in this college. He's in the person of Mr. Benjamin Senior Lighton. So I would like to invite him here. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister, Member of Parliament, Abuakwa North. Papa Chair, I have one last one to do. And this one, I want to invite the rector of the Kofi Christola Institute to help me do this. This person we want to award was my predecessor chair of the board of the council of the college, Presbyterian College of Education at AKUAPEM. This college has been so dear to his heart. This college has been so dear to his heart He has encouraged us, stimulated us, chastised us, and done everything possible to make us worthy of our heritage. I don't want to say much more because you do know what he has done. And he's in the person of the moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, the Right Reverend Professor Joseph Obri Yeboah Mante. Oh, moderator. Moderator.
In addition to the flag, we have a portrait coming from the art department.
Papa Rector, in addition to the plaque, we have a portrait, a pencil portrait of the Reverend Professor J.O. Wyman.
It was designed by the student.
The student designed it and rendered it. Yes. Thank you all very much for your patience. Papa Rector, thank you. Nana, thank you very much for your patience.
Mama, wait. Mama, I'm fine, sir. Mama, I'm surprised. I can't hold you. Mama, Yo. Yeah. Yo. Okay. We have another presentation, and we will call on Papa Clerk of General Assembly to kindly help us present this to our council chairperson. This is a pencil piece of a portrait, and it was done by the art department. It's a surprise to her. It was done by this very student. We are most grateful, Mama. We will proceed.
No problem.
Right. Fundraising,
Okay. Congratulations to all the awardees. A better round of applause for them. Please put your hands together. It's not easy to win our award these days. Put your hands together for them. Congratulations, each and everyone who received an award. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed to have the anniversary song. The choir will help us, lead us with the anniversary song. And even as we sing the song, we'll be witnessing the cutting of the cake. Shall we please be upstanding for the anniversary song? Thank you. Thank you very much. That was the anniversary song. We're going to witness the cake cutting. Please resume your seat. Thank you. And the cutting of the cake will be done by the Honorable Yao Safama for the President's representative, to be assisted by the following. Honorable Dokuya Esiama Ejei, the MP for AKUAPEM North. Dr. Esther Ofe Abuaje, the Council Chairperson. Reverend Dr. Nicholas Aprecian, the Principal of the College. We also have the Getran Rep. Okay. We also have Honorable Gifty Chumampo who will be joining for the cutting of the cake, and she represented the Deputy Minister. We have the Get Fund Rep as well, who will also be joining for the cutting of the cake. The Deputy Get Fund Administrator, Mr. Joseph Dente, and he's also on our alumnus 83-year group, as well as Honorable O.B. Amwa, the Member of Parliament, AKUAPEM South. Please proceed to the cake table. You join Honorable Yao Safamafo for the cutting of the cake.
Royal Majesty will also be packed.
So please, dignitaries, please proceed. Honorable Yao Safamafo, we're waiting even as you lead, the rest to follow. Thank you so much for the cutting of the cake. And the last to join is His Royal Majesty, who will be joining for the cutting of the cake. Put your hands together for Osiadio Kwesi Ekufu the third. Will also be joining for the cutting of the cake. Oh, put your hands together. Moderator, moderator, thank you. So that is the anniversary cake. We're witnessing the cutting of the anniversary cake. And I'm sure once that is done, all of us will partake in it. It's the Lord's Supper. We will all enjoy, taste it, and know what exactly is in it.
We cut this cake in commemoration of the 175th anniversary of the Presbyterian College of Education, AKROPONG, in the name of God Almighty, who alone is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. I don't know.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll have more time to dance. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Acknowledging the presence of Presec Boys, Legon in Accra. The headmaster is here, Mr. David Odija. Please give us a wave. Give us a wave. Headmaster Presec Legon Boys. Thank you so much for coming. Great. And I invite to the podium Very Reverend Solomon Jamara, Principal, Methodist College of Education, Oda, and he will be leading us to do the fundraising. All petitions here. Noble, do we have Noble here? Pinido here, Funtum Reku, do we have here? And we have Achichirene Wow here. And it's time for fundraising. Let's see which of the halls will top. We need money. We want to put up hostel. Is it Noble? And there was silence because it's money. Is it Achichirene Wow? Oh, okay. Achichirene Wow, Vimde. Is it Pinido? Is it a Funtum Reku? Or the ladies hostel?
Thank you very much for such an opportunity. I'm very grateful and very honored to lead in this session. The moderator, the President's representative, the Governing Council Chair, the Principal, planners of the 175 years anniversary. I want to say I'm grateful to you for appointing me to lead in this wonderful anniversary. To raise money, I want to mention raise money, funds to continue the development of the projects. Ne sikajede mechanic na wate mase na ode abantem enyem from sokra. It is a coincidence. It is a miracle training college. No, I had me entrance exams 1988. So I'm also part of the college. Now, ansa na mesha se no mugye di se nyame ayebi. Amen. Monda nyame asida wo we are siamenina osoma neba so betimi a project mamia be Ari reho. Second stanza. Ene deno. Nia. Oh nia. Tifo shishe yawo about your mama idea me dey jisikan why ushers Sutrasi mom paetiawa. Wangama 15 minutes mediso. If you say my name say why a crowd say obabuya. So in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the giver of life and the giver of all wealth, we are before your throne of grace. We want to give so this college will grow from grace to grace and from glory to glory, that all the strategic plan that has been put down can be fulfilled to your glory and the blessing not of only the people in this area but to the nation Ghana and the world at large. We therefore incline our hearts to that spirit of giving your life to us. May we also give in support of this college. In Jesus' name, amen. Yes, it's college in the 175 years. In fact, se woni me ya adwen me pese ye de asedama onyankopon se why yen sa to bottom na breme 175 Ghana cedis as the first seed sowing money into this bowl, telling yourself say a free nedriko adibiara meshase no men so metumi dia konkan 175 years and above. Hina no reba 175. A principle is coming 175 Ghana. God bless you. God bless you. 175 Ghana. I'm looking for as many as 100 people in this room to give me 175 Ghana cedis. 175 Ghana cedis. That is the principle for St. Francis College of Education. Ho hoi. Now, medasi ajwa medasi. 175 Ghana cedis. Ubetimia soriaba. Okanwa eye 2. Now 3 eba. The principal of Peki College of Education. Principals, principals, so principal Jessica, 175 Ghana cedis. We need 100 people to sow that seed today. When I mention sorry about 4 and abano, 5 and abano, American mema and pamaniso. Over 6, 100 people, most sorry rantem, Neyan Kosesia, 100 people. We are sowing 170. Oh, now, Executive Secretary of Prink of Nabano. That is the President of Prink of Accra College. Missy, principals no worry. On my hints, I also Kahubi. Where you 100 and onward 200, 300, 9, no, 10 year, and Famanisu 11. Namisra. 12, 13, 14, now the two American, 15, 16, 100 people to sow 175 cedis each. My main person, Miss Meibia. Dr. Namishra, 175. Me can't say number ben I can't any. Me can't say 17, 18. Yeah, call 17, 18, 19. I'm sure. Now more bantam students. Mubeti made the mala 175. What the alawani ba ubayensra? You don't want to sow, but you want to reap. 175 Ghana cedis. 22, 23, 24, 25, 75 more. We are more than 75. 26, 27. Ereba, 28. All students make termo. All students make termo. Cecia. 28. Yanko. Me bese me di tugase. Honorable Esiedu Ofe, presiding member, AKUAPEM North Municipal, Orima College, 500 bags of cement worth 15,000 Ghana cedis. Bawun sam se radio no munyam. Ebedu ho 175, 26 ni 26 ni Yariko Oberi ba 27 riba Entem 27 riba Entem 27 riba. God bless you. As we count the 175 seed sowing, the Persia contem until the 175 annual mami wiper 28 because 29 the Persia 12 is here 30. God bless you. 175 Christ in
Nyame asomdwe nka wo. That is 31. We move. 31. We have 69 more. We will get there. Na sesi ya na eka no si bi ho ha o se ye den yetua. Enti wo ha yi onyame hyirawo. Obetimi abua college 10,000 Ghana cedis bra. As we are at 31 of 175 and the mekaipa 30 say 33 medase mo counter wa ha 33 of 100 wa ha and the mekaipa 10,000 5,000 Ghana cedis onyame nka wakoma ma me frame ameba me yosomfo 175 34 Obi Amwa AKUAPEM South 5,000 Ghana cedis. Bawun sam sharari animonyam. Tie uri yisika ni bi na wo ma unsem a wo nyaade. Bawun sam na mintie. Beautiful, beautiful. 10,000 5,000. Think of principals awoha wa ka won tsabom wona hwespe gumasum won si won ma 6,500 Ghana cedis. Our table no the principals are giving you 6,500 Ghana cedis. 10,000 5,000 sorry bra. 10,000 5,000. Hey biana usika no e omomo mami umomo number na me fan tudwa no fan to so KTU bis 175 akwa he una akan mami akwa he 35 65 more Papa, one more crowd of name say Presbyterian Church of Ghana. 1 mile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Another 20. What the thing a title 50,000 Ghana cedis. Bonsama Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Bonsama 50,000 Ghana cedis. Papa, that means now. Ọmọ nkwada presby asọrọ n'anim adumunti amen. He was you were a director of academic at Trinity and I worked under you in my 3 years at Trinity. I was a student. He was sending me. I was the errand boy for him. Yes. 10, 5,000. Unamenkawa kumane sorry. Nebra. 10,000, 5,000. Jesus. Commercial bank staff. Marco 10. What's the 175 and what the 10? In the 10 plus 35. I'm saying 45. 1,750. But we are still showing the 175. Be part of it. Students Muntie Musmalawano and ye watching Kwana Edi. Ebeba. Okay. Papa Bahankwade Ebeba. Honorable Osafuma for Bahankwade. By next week, no more I want to river. So you can sow in anticipation. Put yourself together. Do something for the college. Don't sit idle. You sow today, you reap tomorrow. 5,000, 10,000. 5,000, 10,000. 175 out of 46. 10,000, 5,000. 10,000, 5,000. 175, 47. Now, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. I mean, kawa kumana sorebra. 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. Also, dear womb, o dear ne womb, sorry, na fabra. When I mean, shall say, o this SK Baba Sisia. When I mean, shall say, o this SK Basisia. Platform or ABR 5,000 make kind of did Uja Wofie platform waha ubetimi a friend na wachro ding na udisikano ashim uwia na udu especially for momo number fatoso na ya ni wedding common di aba regional minister of it's now regional minister honorable 5,000 Ghana cedis. Bonsam. AKUAPEM Presbytery 2,000. Volta Presbytery so ya high. Once what dini. Wangamboding, but me jadi say between 2,000 to 4,000. No, and a marriage. Na min saba papa. Me feel rather frame no.
Yenimo. Ya so I share jiwedi yenimo.
Yenimo. Me say uni bibi. Yenimo nampa. Presidency 50,000 Ghana cedis. Yenimo. Deputy Minister of Education, Honorable Gifty Chum Ampofo. 5,000 Ghana cedis. 432. 1,000 Edo Sodre. Sorry, Brasisia. Now, if you are carrying from more for it, sorry, Brasisia. 1,500. 200. Sorry, Nabra. 1,500. 200. All students maintain Monkau. All students maintain Monka. From 18 whatever maintain Monka. 1,000 Ghana cedis. All students maintain Monka. Hey, get it? Bra. Yes. 1980, what's no 1,000? The other years, me chemo. 1981, 1982, 1983, 2000, 2001. For Mudiba, me take more hefa. Me shamun. The very year groups, Mumra 1,000. Year group be a major 1,000 CCR. Sorry, bra. Year group be a 1,000. What the year group be a 1,000. Munka mutrimbo CCR. Year group be a 1,000. Papa shall say. Year group be a 1,000. Yeah, Jiwong. Year group be a where you compulsory by force. Munka mutrimbo na mufamra. 83,000. Some kind of river. But some shall have was over Momo line the year 2000 1,000 Ghana cedis. Montreal one says here pledge the year 2000 Momo line or yeah that the Momo line Fatu says here year groups 2001 for me team Mudin Waha 2002 for me team Mudin Waha surface bra the year groups one graduation and say one sorry 2001 1,010 Ghana cedis. One sorry sis yeah no Honorable Esiedu Offer 5,000 Ghana cedis bonsam this year. Yeah, this is sharp. 1999 What? Bonsam awansan maka. Bonsam mawon. 1999, 5,000 Ghana cedis. I'm breaking record, no? PCG, Peace Congregation, 2,000 Ghana cedis. Year groups, Mon Sorimra. Year groups, Mon Sorimra. Year groups, Mon Sorimra. Kwafuma ready. Mama ya nyom na won diskana kanaba. They see one mutumbia wadebeba na ya pon sisia. Sorebra, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Ode ye 200, 150. Sorebra. 150. Where the students say modia. 150. Monsoremra. SRC from where? PCG SRC. I have not heard your name. Where are you? You are coming. 100. Yes. SRC.
2007, the first batch of diploma.
First batch of diploma 2000. How much? 1,000. I mean, sorry. Now they are students. Eldumoso 100, 200. Now more than about CCR. I mean, God bless you. 50 Ghana cedis. Why you be papa? I mean, Obetimia sorry the aba. Sorry, brother CCR. I mean, the weather is good. I mean, 50. I mean, now what the river? Titrumika.
We will lift you up.
PCG management 3,000. Man park you go management no 3,000 Ghana cedis. Papa. Oko management meeting na what you want 3,000. That means 100 Ghana cedis. That means Sutra is here. Me pachomba is here. Sutra is. Ye na ye beton something about meba line by line. Line be a answer no. We are suspect. We are enemy of progress. Now we pese PCG be koso. Ye yankuponi abankese. PC. Nyamishrao. But we are the PCG. We want sana PCE erba. Ye mompae. Ye yankuponi abankese. Yeda wase wo afori aya boy ye dua aba na ye jedi se eboso ahye wanumnyam na daachi echirima beba abehu college yi no na wo nyina wore kase eye wo erade na waye koso hye wo wanumnyam koso ma college yi entre sare so ne yare bompae se obi biara wajibi ede abua college ni mpuntu Emma adepa mboneda me yi wani onyam mfiri ni so dan nyina ma wani onyam wadoye ene wonkwaje enye ne dia yenim se obeye yamaye wo Jesus demonti amen.
Achim Ebuaka Presbytery 1,000.
Achim Ebuaka Presbytery baba bompae so mesajiska Achim Ebuaka Presbytery 1,000 Ghana cedis. Bon some share adia no munyam. Presbytery food nyina na je say 2,000 kachere won woni ha ma won phone call say moderator agi atum say 2,000 won famra ambeboa onyamishrawo 1989 1,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, year group the minimum 1,000. Now mode enyomo reba ye di fi achiri ho ye rebabo afore mombefa we nko befa we ko na saa afore ye no so ye nkan ye hu afore ko obiara riba bi dabi ye ade no fasika no gu ade m na yi ko na fa bo ni si o ma me why efo Bana baya wajuma sisia Obia baba asa Asempapa ne sɛ PCE at 175 years. Sɛ ɔyɛ nipa a megye di sɛ saa bere nka ɔwɔ dɛm ɔsɔre mpo ɛnyɛ yie na onyame adom nti ɛfiri akyiri hɔ the students begin with a dance and bring your offering. I will say offering, something small, something small. Monsore mra na ahasumra from the right, from the left, from my right. Ne yesaba ni aba forever fefe yankoi echi omumre wa for already sorry nabra PCE students sorry nabra. God is watching you. Namisra, God bless you. No one should force you. We are not forcing anybody. It's a free will offering. And I mean, Namisra. God bless you. Mama beat him. God bless you. Nanke pese ye very orderly. Na motua bom. God bless you that you are giving for the development of the college. God bless you. 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 Brink of members, are you ready to come on floor? I'm taking some offering from you. Your last offering with a dance. Brink of. Munim say ansana metna se mehumanim. Brink of members. Council members. Namishra Papa Namishra, God bless you. Current Education Department 200 Ghana cedis. (1983) 5,000 Ghana cedis. They have pledged 5,000. That is the principals. Leading is the principal of Kibi College of Education, followed by Accra College, the executive secretary of Brinkoff, St. Francis, St. Louis, right from the north, Bimbila, PWCE. Now we have our former principals also following. Namisra Papa, council members following. Namisramo.
Oh, wakasa.
Primary and JHS have donated 1,000 Ghana cedis. Namisramo. God bless you all. MC, I'm done. God bless you.
Call for Madam Massey. I'm saying, Akonyaso Ayeshi. Now, after here, we are also going to commission and dedicate some buildings before our VIPs leave. So I will just do my closing remarks very quickly. I want to do them before we all leave here. I think you all will agree with me that when the representative of the President of the Republic speaks and says that he will make sure that we get a bus, and then he will make sure that we will become a fully fledged university. It's come from the presidency, and it should happen. Let us give the Lord a big round of applause for that. Allow me to say a very big thank you to Nana Mahine, not just for your presence. Now, as what every night I see a Nana, went to them as a casa and say, me would date to be on my calendar, so November 9th. 9th November, nature metro the entire. But more than a mesro pa, na only team na moya as with everything. Saturday, November 9th. Now, I know when I have Bobo Parkiness. Hey, I will go away. What's your question? Mr. Saturday, November 9th. You na your mobile. I was. Nature Mecca, November 9th. No, awesome, actual. Hallelujah. And there was something mentioned in Nana's address about Presbyterian discipline and also re-echoed by the representative of the President of the Republic. Presbyterian discipline. Asema abba we are saying say and go for say o makosua de akwachire enenti aba edetian nkoda no yesi yenyai na teacher fo ne bi wo ho no ma omotene nkoda no a omontene nkoda no ye nkoda no bitimi pra na ade but ade ba come me hu ne say you have 1 out of 20 teachers obeye abroso ana meboa 19 na omo ye papa no na ye jaye no ka because if you give it to me Presbyterian teacher for pad you get 1 in 50 obeye amana abroso. And people who attended Presbyterian schools and were disciplined, properly disciplined, and they look back to it and they give God glory and they clap for all their teachers. And he made a more education, the methodology, book at the make culture one say, hey, if you say a buyer, no, if you say a buyer, no. I go for BSC and check. And the young say every into form. Now I grow any form, and you grow any bukumu. I grow any form. I grow any form. I grow any form. I will tell you something. I had some visitors from the United States of America. We took them to a school. The moment they entered the class, all the children got up and they said, "Good morning, sir. Good morning, sirs. Good morning, madams." And then they sat down. And then after everything, these Americans told me, they said, "Is it normal?" I said, "It's very normal." And then they said, "We really wish that all American children will come to Ghana to learn how to be students." Most of them say, educational psychology and almost some quite an essay and I'm a copy. Pamucho, I grow any bukumu, I grow any form, I grow any form, I grow, say any fem. In the moment, Yenimwe, Pagana, Sremon, Moamoye, policy makers in education, Sremon. Some teachers may make mistakes, but that's not the normal. There are good teachers, and let us allow for good disciplinary activities to take place. Of course, disciplining is not only caning. The easiest method is to cane, isn't it? But there are other ways of disciplining people so that the purpose of the discipline is to nurture the child well and make the child better. And yes, obey discipline, baby, na korano na wajuju na no, I need the radin pengu cry. To me stress a mama ya kwine na yentimi entiam ofra iye na omunyini iye. I say I'm making, but me jina me na so aka because the kwa semini me juma no de me chini kakra. Me juma no de me chini kakra. Australia, Switzerland, America, Canada, we dey say. Me dey open school ani akwada papa. Make us a Presbyterian school. Ewo Ghana, Edamas. One of my biggest prayers is that, Madam Council Chair, let me say a very big thank you to you for the surprises, the donation and everything, and for all the great things that are happening in this school. You and your council, you do all. 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 You do all, and for all the great things that you people are doing and what God is using you for, we are very grateful. But to always remind you that for us as Presbyterians, please, this is a sacred place for us. So South School way. So bibi ko yene na ko chia. Presbyterian ye nyina ya chia. Because and you from all the when we talk about Presbyterian discipline, Presbyterian values, anything Presbyterian can think of, our liturgy book, the writing of the vernaculars, everything ninyina compound and ninyina start here. Why? Principal, you are walking in the footsteps of great saints. I hope you see that. I hope you see that. And I hope you and your team see that. You are walking in the footsteps of great saints. We wish this school a pleasant anniversary, a blessed one, and may the future of this institution be more blessed than its past. Whatever is true, whatever is excellent, think of these things. Philippians 4:8. May excellence be your mark. We want excellence, and we want this school to be a schooler, where continue to be a schooler. Anytime we are thinking of teacher educational excellence, everybody in this whole country will have no doubt but to say, let's go to AKUAPEM PCE, AKROPONG PCE. Thank you very much. And Nana, we really love you, and we thank you and your team for joining us. And personally, I really appreciate your presence, and pray that together we will continue to lift this school up. Because for all intents and purposes, once this school is lifted up on a higher pedestal, the name of AKUAPEM also goes up to the glory of God. I wanted to say thank you in your German, Dankeschön. God bless you. And thank you all. Amen.
And thank you so much as well, Professor Jill Waimante. Grateful for accepting to be the chairperson and giving your remarks at the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a quick presentation from the 2000-year group, then we're out. Quick presentation from them. Prof.
Oh boy, I'm moving to I told the chairperson of council, let's not take their time for granted. Why? So we are going to go and do the commissioning dedication, and in order to cut that time short, I invite the principal, Betudin, come and
Speak about the program.
yeah, just give us the intentions of what we're going to do, so that when we go there, to just be prayer and then cut the sword and then we are done. So we no speaking and talking there. So you can do it in 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, moderator. We have 2 projects to commission and dedicate. The first one is the 200 female capacity female hostel. It was built by management, SRC, and alumni, and is ready, fully furnished and ready for dedication. The second one is the Get Fund sponsored project, the first ever in Ghana and in the colleges of education, 6-story ICT library office complex edifice. That is also ready. It's about 96% ready, but it will be commissioned. We are ready for it, and it's fully furnished. So right after this, we will take our photographs and we head there for the commissioning and dedication.
Thank you, Papa Moderator. As part of our contributions to promote academic excellence,
Principal, please kindly go down and collect the...
We, all students of Presbyterian College of Education, Edikanfu 2000-year group, have procured and would want to donate 3 projectors to this great institution in order to aid teaching and learning. So presented, sir.
Thank you.
Education 2000, they group 2000.
And Principal, they are supposed to be used for lectures, not to be kept in your office, in the lecture rooms. All right? Okay, right. Photo time.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we all rise as we sing Yenara Assassin? The choir will lead us.
Let's receive the benediction. Let us live here with the peace of God Almighty. May the blessings of God stay upon this school. May the blessings of God go with us. May the face of God shine upon all of us. In the name of God Almighty, who alone is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Let's all go in peace. Amen. Amen. Is it true that this song was written here in this school? Yes. And you are singing it like this? Oh, no. It was written from here. By whom? Ephraim Amo. And so I thought I would hear it with Vim and Omo. Yes. We will do it again. Ready? Come, Master. Yeah, I told you are representing Ephraim Amo now. Eh? Okay, right.
Shall we please take our seat and observe the following announcement? It's time for the photography. Please take your seat. And this is how we're going to recess. Nana and his team will go first, followed by all government officials, invited guests, and followed by students and past students. So the photography, Nana moderator, Honorable Yao Safumafu and the team, all government officials first for the photography. That's the order in which we're going to have it. After that, we'll have all officials with management of the school. We have all officials with principal management of the school.
The media and the drama will wait.
All principals, please join. All principals here, please join. All principals. And that will be followed by former principals. After all principals, former principals. All principals. Right after that, we have all former principals. And right after the former principals, please, we all wait for Asiadio to leave first whilst we continue the photography. Former principals, all other clergymen here present, all other clergymen here present. I can see Reverend John Kwashi right after the former principals, and all other clergymen here present. Please, you join for the photography. Yeah. Shall we please rise? Nana is leaving. Let's rise. And please, even as Nana leaves, let's take the following announcement. All government officials will be meeting at the council chamber. Prinkoff council members, former principals, former vice principals from sister colleges, you all meeting at the kitchenette. Directors of education as well, heads of other institutions, you are meeting at kitchenette. Kitchenette is at the second floor of the administrative block. Kitchenette, second floor, administration block. Please note. Alumni will meet here, EK Osei Hall. All alumni here, please remain here. Drivers, car park. Drivers will meet at the car park. Ministers, that is clergymen, will be meeting at the library. So take note. All clergymen, library. So the library is down here on my right, down there, the yellow building. You meet there, all clergymen. Then teaching staff.